Hello Heather, hello Annaline, hello Beth. Beth, I had a dream last night. You were in it. I dreamt that me and my eldest daughter and my son-in-law came to stay at your house, and it was really weird. And you lived in like there's a phone. You lived in like a gated community, and
Good morning, Miriam. Jane speaking.
very polite.
I'm afraid not at the moment. Should be available in an hour if you want to call back. Okay, thank you. Thanks. Bye.
Who was that?
Somebody wanting to talk to you, so I'm going to ring back in an hour.
Oh. What did this sound like? Someone trying to sell advertising or someone wanting to buy a picture?
Probably somebody in front of her. She was very, very present.
So yeah, going back to my dream, Beth. So you lived in like a gated community, and you made me help you set the table with like a lettuce leaf on one side where the knife would go, and a dock leaf on the other side where the fork would go. And oh, nobody ever wants to hear about other people's dreams, but it was really quite weird. Hello Liz, hello Rose, Wendy, Sally, Fiona, Sarah. I'm just going to say the internet has been a bit odd this morning. It went off for a while, so if it goes off, it goes off. I apologise. Hello Evelyn, hello Mara. Evelyn, it doesn't matter how old you are, about it. Howdy. Yeah, I don't think I know people who are really knocking on and they can give me advice on IT, and I know young people who haven't got a clue. I'm just going back to last night. I put out a plea for help because Fifey didn't know how to get rid of safe mode on the tablet I bought him. Hello Carolyn, I like the photograph of your meal outside, that looked so nice. We always eat with vegetable cutlery. So do we. Can hardly lift my mug, honestly. I'm as weak as a kitten. I was swimming last night. And actually the water was quite cold, and I think I did like I don't know, a kilometre and a quarter or something like that. But it's like pounding. And my arms are like... Hello Valerie Elliott, you've disappeared. I hope I've come back. Like I said, the internet, it's really windy. Sometimes when it's windy, the internet vanishes. Hello Emma, how's the internet up the Coquet Valley? Hello Naomi and Alison, did you get any sleep last night with your baby? Send more photographs off on your Facebook page. Right, yesterday we started this cockerel painting, and after I signed off, I got some fresh water. Good. I got some fresh water and I just dribbled it down one way, and then I got some more water at this end and chucked it on, and then I lay it like that so that the water would bleed both sides over my rubbish bin on its side. That way I've got like a stream of bleed right the way through the painting. The little mouse in the corner is working hard. She's not in the corner, she doesn't want to be on the video. That's Emma Caskey talking. She's wanting to... Sorry? Jane says hello, Emma. Do you say hello to everyone else, or is it just Emma? Giggle. Everyone that knows her. She is quite shy, unless she's had a few drinks, and then it's another matter altogether, isn't it, Jane? Yes, I'm not saying I'm whiter than white. We had this discussion yesterday. We were both perfectly happy with our alcohol intake. What sort of rubbish bin should we use? on its side and then you just drape the wet painting over it. I think about these things, you know. Hang them up with bulldog clips. Right. Should we press on with this? Gone for a lie down again. That's a rubbish. Okay. Like I said, if the internet goes, what can I say? Tip you up. Right. Can I see what you're saying? Yes, I can. Haven't even really given this very much thought. So I'm just going to sort of build up like the feathers on each of these cockles, just trying to imagine where they'll be. Alright. I'll find one of these that I like and use it. So I believe we have a few more days of rather cold, occasionally wet weather, and then the temperatures will begin to soar to the late teens. Oh, we've got that one to do something to as well, haven't we? Right, I need a scrap of paper to test my colour on. Nope, I do not like that. Thank you to everyone who offered to help last night when I had my Android meltdown. That's maybe a bit more like it. See, that colour has got enough of this and blue to marry in with everything else, I think. I think Mel's golfing today. Traitor. Anyway, yesterday, you know how I mentioned about the cake thing? Well, after lunch I put the oven on and gathered up all the ingredients, and I made what can only be described as possibly one of the best Victoria sponges known to man. Not just one, but 4. So Fifey was quite pleased, although I think he could have been a bit more grateful myself. And then, before I went out for my lake swim that has exhausted me, I got some short crust pastry, which is just a what do you call it? Godsend. I got that out the freezer. So there are the little wings. This one here goes like that, and I don't think we need that on there. And I made 2 absolutely magnificent quiches. So basically that's me done for a long time. And I did say to Fifey, he said something like, "You're looking smug." I was like, well, I do feel smug. I feel extremely smug because that is like me done. And we discussed the whole cooking, baking thing because he just loves, he said, "I really like making food." And I said, "I know you do, and you should do what you like. You should stick to what you're good at and do it, stick to your guns." And so should I. I don't like doing it. As I've mentioned before, what do you do with all the Victoria sponges? Put them in the freezer. And then when somebody has a birthday, I can just come up trumps. yeah, put them in the freezer. Yeah, Fifey really likes cooking, but as I have mentioned before, when you put all that effort and all that time into making something, I quite like to put it in a frame and have it hung on a wall and then have exchange of money for the thing. And just watching people wolf down in different cakes and quiches is not my idea of fun. I like to do things really well and then have appreciation for them, and that is me being big-headed, and yes, I admit it. Right, so these feathers in the tail, I'm going to do some more of this. I'm going to get a slightly smaller brush because really that one's a bit big for the job. Okay, that's probably okay-ish. So these sort of golden feathers continue and hang over the tail feathers, which is rather nice, I think. Caught another rabbit in the trap this morning. Oh, that reminds me, I've got to give someone a ring. Don't ask. So this one, but obviously this one has the tail feathers here, so they'll sort of overlap. Doesn't really matter because they'll be dark feathers, so it won't matter. Obviously you have to sort of, I'm trying to think about what's in the foreground and then what's behind so that I don't cock it up. This one. Okay. Quite nice. I'll do the eyes. It's probably about the right colour. Right, what are you saying? Trying to read what you've written on your hand? Yes, I expect you are. Well, you'll have to get a mirror out. And even then, it's not very interesting. So that I don't cock it up. Yes. Too late for that. Love a good pun. Yeah, you just take things like the internet for granted. Everything runs smoothly when images and emails and working on the website and all that sort of stuff goes, just happens like it should. But when it doesn't, there's nothing you can do. We're supposed to be getting this thing. It's a bit like fibre broadband, and they mole it through the field margins in rural areas. It's like quite a sort of innovative project, and you have to have 50% of your area sign up for it. Obviously I signed up for it, and it's quite cheap. It's a non-profit organisation. Have you been offered it, Jane?
Sorry.
You know that banter, was it broadband for rural areas or broadband for...
Is that the one that bounces? It's like gets
No, it goes on an actual tiny little cable, and they have a machine, you know, like moulling drains in. And it's just got a tiny fibre, and they bring it right next to your house, and then you pay a couple of £100 for them to just sort of bring it to wherever you want it. I'm surprised. Would have thought maybe they haven't.
I want you to put one of those repeaters on the house.
Oh, what you mean for one of the networks?
I don't know what it is. I don't know about it.
So will you get money for that?
No, but we get free. I think we get free.
Oh right. Well, you won't be wanting the projecty one then. That's what you want. They're trying to make it so that all the masts are used by all the networks, because it's just mad having EE and O2 and all these different things using different masts. They should just all use the same one. You've missed Keisha's and Victoria's. Maria, you can't turn up late and expect us to know what's going on in the conversation. No. So Maria, when are you going to come swimming in these here parts? Because, as you know, H2O Trails is back up and running. I know it's quite a long way, but it's really worth it to be able to just put your head down and swim for like as long as you want. It's magic. I was there last night. Maria is a fellow open water swimmer. Lordy. For those of you who are not wondering, or not knowing what I'm talking about. Doing quite well doing this upside down, I think. And the last one. What's being said? Wish it would hurry up. We haven't. Which variety? So that I don't go to the... If you've got any questions, feel free. Strangely enough, Fifey did listen to yesterday's live video on his tablet and enjoyed it. I said, why do you want to listen to it? Why? I think it's because I mentioned him. Everyone likes a mention. And the cake thing. So yesterday's cake, it was so delicious and moist that we just sat and ate nearly a whole cake with nothing in it, no jam, no nothing. And we just looked at each other and went like this. It's good. It's good. Nom, 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 nom. Cakes are now on eBay. I'll come to swim when the permafrost eases. There's a phone just here, Jane. She's like a mountain goat, quick, fleet of foot, rarely seen. What is open?
You'll get wrong. Do you know it's 12 o'clock? She's doing a video log thing.
Coronaphobia. Yeah, well, Mark's...
I'll get her to ring you back.
Is that my mother?
Yes. Okay, I'll get her to ring you back. Bye. Yeah.
What did she say?
I said, you'll get wrong. And she's like, oh, yes, oh, yeah, bye.
I'm going to do some feathers. She must have just got back from playing... Oh no, not just got back, because she goes at 10 and comes back just after 11. Thursday is tennis coaching day for my mother, who is now 86. It's pretty funny, isn't it? Well, actually, it's not. It's great. It's inspiring. I think it's just brilliant. Right, what colour shall I make them? A bit more. Sorry, I'm just trying to get a colour that I like for the feathers around here. And this is just sort of stylised, really. So, Maria, coronaphobia. Do you think, I'm not sure that there's much of a risk of it, doing open water swimming. And Mark, who runs it, he takes all these measures. You can go to the website and read about it. Put her on. 5 years listening so we can work out which listeners' husbands you're after, just yours, Jules. HO Trails, who organise the fabulous open water swimming that we do at Suited Block. But you can't just leap in without... Yeah, well, we can leap in the river here without any organisation. And I do that on a regular basis. But to be able to swim in like a really big lake, and I know he only has like a 200-metre course laid out at the moment, but quite frankly, it's magic, because you don't have to keep looking so you don't crash into a rock or something. You can just zone out and power on. And get really quite achy arms. There's my brother, who's been staying at my mum's for quite a lot of the whole coronavirus lockdown, has gone back to London. And so she's having to fall back on her lesser children, me, to be able to rant at. She doesn't rant, actually, she's hilarious. And as you know, she provides me with quite a lot, so she's a rich seam of topics. Okay. Smaller brush now. I might. Okay. Just do their beaks. Hello, Linda Vine. Thank you, thank you. Somebody gave me this and I can't remember. It's lovely. Is it a Stormy Petrel or something? Julie Jules Howard, have you heard any more about our gifted... Very, very naughty. I'm busy working away here and you're working out ways of stealing my art. How are you managing, Linda Vine? Always got paint on my cuffs. Last night when Vivey was watching, I was doing this, and he said, "You've gone very quiet." I said, "Do you think I'm a..." I did actually use the F word. I said, "Do you think I'm a magician?" Not that clever at all. Should we put the black bits on the eyes? Then they can actually see. I'll just quickly drink my tea. I'll have a little look and catch up. Blackmail. All I've ever done for you, Jules, is favours. Favours, favours, favours. And you want to blackmail me. That's nice. Photos. I'm dreading the kids going back to school and nursery for this very reason. Obviously, in addition. What reason? I'm dreading the kids going back to school. You're going to get rid of them. Corona fear. I'm dreading the kids going... Jen, what do you mean? What's the matter? What are you afraid of? I have a plan of... That will do it. Do you require any help? I just think I've missed something here and I don't think I like it. Hello, Sarah, the voice of reason. Hello. No blackmail threats. God. Right. Let's do the eyes. Let's let these little cockerels see the world. Was that twang your knicker elastic? You're making assumptions, Jules. Knicker elastic. Funnily enough, I bought a packet of knickers the other day. I know you're not supposed to. I was in Tesco's and they did... There was a sort of, you are welcome in to browse, but don't go near anyone. And so I left my trolley in the sort of area where you can get boring things like paracetamols and glasses, 2 for £6. And I went into the clothing area and I suddenly remembered that nearly all my knickers have either got holes in or they're too tight. I think they've shrunk in the wash. I'll just do this and then I can continue talking. So really it's just a case of painting a black circle and leaving a little white dot. Oops. Yeah, so I just got these. My knicker of choice is high leg. Lycra. So I bought them and they looked all right, and I got them home and sure enough they're a little bit tight. So no problem with the elastic, Jules, in answer to your very rude and personal question. But I will not be wearing these particular knickers underneath jodhpurs. That's for sure. No, not that one. That's better, they can see. That's nice. Just a simple blue. Like you said to me the other day, what do you miss during this whole coronavirus thing? And he said, I think you miss your friends. And I said, no, I don't. Don't tell them. But I don't. Because, you know, I communicate with them. I think I miss sitting down with family and having like a really nice sort of stuff-a-thon, and maybe get a big piece of beef or lamb or something.
Where's all the ink things gone?
What ink things?
These ink pads.
For the stampers?
Yeah, where are they gone?
There aren't that many, but they're in here. Excuse me, folks. Oh, I think there's some in, like, down the side. I think there's something there. But if you're stuck, you can always get a new one. I just thought that needed to go there. So, that's where we're at. So it's really just a sort of fun, it's like just a lot of fun and a lot of movement. Where I'd like to go next, it's wet. So maybe leave that for now and have a look at this. Right. I'm just going to quickly tip you up. Clothes shrink in the wardrobes and drawers, they do, I find that. Knickers, I wear all encompassing ones that are very forgiving. And do they tell you which direction north, south, east and west are? Hey, Rebecca Rowell, how are you? I think fresh as flu is more about being introduced to new bugs when you're in a new place to live. Shrunk in the wash, shrunk in the wash. Too many curly whirlies. Look, I have the figure of an athlete. sumo wrestler. Look at the time. Right. Okay, I'm going to have some more leafage. I'll let you see the mixy area. Yes, talking about colours this morning with, who was I talking to? My framer, that's right. And because I had to ring him up, I sent Fifey in with a painting yesterday, which I hadn't actually specified exactly which frame to put on because the person who is buying it, she's actually, I suppose you might call her a collector. She wasn't 100% sure what she wanted anyway. We were just talking about colour and stuff, and about, because actually my framer is he did an arts degree. He's very he's really very, very artistic, and he's a great critic, and we often talk about stuff. So this is like an ash tree, and I might as well paint it because most of them are looking pretty rubbish at the moment, and they might not be around for much longer, so I'll paint them. Yeah, so we're talking about colour and about my limited palette. Oh yes, I was describing the painting. I said, oh, it's, you know, this one, da-da-da-da, and he went, oh yes. And then we were just talking generally about my limited palette and the advantages of a limited palette. So you tend not to get clashes if you use a limited palette because you've only got like 5 colours, so they will really work together, and you just learn to get everything you want. The things that I am missing, I've noticed, I think, are just those earth colours, like the ones sepia and whatever, ochres. I don't have anything like that, and I wouldn't know what to do with them, frankly. I've got an ash tree right outside the window. I love the way the leaves do this, a bit like a fern. What's been said? Has anybody got any questions? Oh, God, yeah, I've got to get ready for my WI thing on Monday night, haven't I? Fancy doing a Zoom Women's Institute demo. Didn't see that coming. Quite like the clarity of these lines against the whiteness of the light Sussex. Quite nice. Going to do a bit to the eye. So I'm literally just working straight out of these 2 reds that came in my Ludlow set. So I'm nearly there with the design of the watercolour paper pad that I'm having made using 300 GSM Saunders Waterford high white rough paper, which is absolutely my favourite. So it's quite exciting. And we're just finalising some of the things that the manufacturer insists on, such as St Cuthbert's Mill logo and the size, and then Saunders Waterford, their trademark, and then obviously the technical details about the paper. And then obviously there needs to be me, a bit about me, and a photograph maybe of me painting on the cover. So that's quite... There's just so much to do at the moment, really, in the design side of things. And I do have a designer who works for me, but I have to tell him what I want, so, and put everything in folders. And I use Dropbox for that. Poo. Far too much paint. I don't know whether any of you use Dropbox, but it's like absolutely marvellous. I've got a professional package, so basically it's like a cloud, and I just store all my stuff there, like important files and big design files. We do back stuff up, like obviously original paintings they're all on the computer, on the hard drive, and then backed up onto a separate hard drive, which we don't keep in the studio just in case it burns down. Which it nearly did, actually. Was it 2 years ago when I accidentally set fire to the kitchen? Had a whole load of papers on top of the hob just back there. Where is it? Do you see where the end of my brush is? There. That is an electric hob. There. And there's a switch there. And then there's another one in the cupboard under there. And I just made a mistake. Hadn't turned it all off. Hadn't turned it off, and then just accidentally flicked it on while I had a pile of sketchbooks and magazines and things on there. And I'm upstairs working on the computer, and Fifey came in. He said, "It's a bit of a smell." I said, "Yeah, well, the fire's on." And he came round here, and the flames were licking up there where my fingers are. They were licking up. And so I raced downstairs and emptied the contents of the washing up bowl on it, which was the worst thing to do, apparently. Who knew? Anyway, I do now. So yeah, we keep a separate hard drive in the house. I'm not going to say where, because I'm not liking the way the conversation's been going, quite frankly. And I'm not sure I even trust any of you. Especially not Jules and Margaret, who are in cahoots, I would say. This is the back view, and there will be a load of tail feathers here once everything else is done. Yeah, I know, water and electricity. I don't. Hair dryers and baths. We all know what happens there. I'm glad you like the paper. Right. So this one will be ready to do something to tomorrow. Red. And this one as well. So they're at very nice phases. And I know I've said it before. Oh God, tomato face. But one of my top tips is never to leave a painting at a tricky point. Leave it at a place where you can easily go back to it, where you're comfortable. So when you're having a great time and things are going well, oops. Yeah, when things are going really well, and you know you're going to have to sort of finish because you've got quiches to make, stop then. Don't wait until you get to a tricky bit. Thank you, Jules. Yeah, and I never really like coming to a completely empty drawing board. I mean, sometimes I do. I like a great big piece of paper. I've got one here. This is a painting I've just started, and I've got a plan. And that's quite nice. But yeah, my advice is I leave it so that when you come back, you'll be excited and you'll be confident and you'll be able to get straight back into it. Oh no, you're going. I am going. Properly going. Right. Bye. What day is it tomorrow? Friday. I think I'm here on Friday, but I'm not sure about the weekend. But I'll let you know. Anyway, have a great day. I'm wondering if you can actually see me because the last comment was quite a while ago. Yes. You're welcome, Sarah. Is it a cunning plan? Oh, thank you very much, Yvonne. Oh, Catherine, Catherine, how's the finger that you chopped up? Asparagus quiche would be very nice, but we haven't got an asparagus bed. Don't get me started on an asparagus bed. It's been a bone of contention throughout my entire relationship with Fifey. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're welcome. Right, I'm off now. Bye.